On the island of Newfoundland, upon the southwest coast, lies the little town of Burgeo, to whom I'll sing this toast. There are so many islands that lie just off her shore, and when the cold north wind blows, you can hear the billows roar. The people from the village make their living from the sea. They like their independence, it shows that they are free. Some fish in their small boats in the wind, the rain and sleet, while others make their living on the offshore trawler fleet. They've known their share of tragedies down through the years, and when the memories overcome, they show their grief with tears. For they have lost some loved ones to the furies of the seas, for heartaches and heartbreaks are locked in memories. This village, it's got beauty carved on its rugged shore. 7 miles of pure white sand, who could ask for more? The mountains and the valleys where the rivers run so fast, and the salmon rise to the sportsman's fly as he makes another cast. Now the people of this village love their native home, for anyone who goes away, oh surely will return. Just like that lifelong mystery, the answer you won't know. What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul? What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul?
Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have School's Halloween Party, School's Remembrance Day Assembly, Remembrance Day Service, Meet and Greet with the Rangers, Town Council Report. Please stay tuned for these stories after this. Try your luck on Wednesday and play TV Bingo, sponsored by Burgeo Academy for Reggie Marsden's All-Day Heroes. Cards are 6 for $5 and can be bought from Reggie Marsden or in most stores around town. Last Monday, Burgeo Academy held a Halloween catwalk dance for the students from grades kindergarten to 12. Students and staff alike dressed up in costumes, which ranged from pretty fairy princesses to ugly ghosts and goblins. Some of the students, along with the phys ed teacher, done a dance performance of Michael Jackson's Thriller. Burgeo Academy held their annual Remembrance Day assembly on Thursday in the gymnasium. Most of the students were dressed in red and black. Students recited poems and sang songs to show respect for the fallen soldiers. Also during that time, two Lions members presented prizes to the winners of their peace poster contests.
I'd just like to say that I'm very pleased and honoured to be able to come here this evening on behalf of the Burgeo Lions Club and help share in your Remembrance Day activities. And I was going to say, well, I don't need to say anything about the fallen soldiers and all this, because I wouldn't want to repeat what Mr. Mayor and all these other people said. Well, I have to get to speak before them, so I don't want to say what they're going to say, so I won't say anything about that. I'll leave that to these people. But no, seriously, it's running quite late, and I'm sure you don't want to hear that from me. But anyway, I'd like to thank the school for allowing the students to participate in this very worthwhile activity, Peace Poster Contest. And this takes place right across Canada and the world, as a matter of fact. So it's quite a good time to be able to pass out these Peace Poster Contest winner checks then. So I have a check here for third prize for the Peace Poster Contest, and it goes out to Brandon England. To the regional level, which is the judge there, and hopefully to be moving on from there.
The annual Remembrance Day service was held at the Anglican Church on Friday. Members from various organizations gathered to show their respect to our fallen soldiers. Once the service was over, all gathered at the memorial site where wreaths were laid.
Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up your quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we trow, to torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Also on Remembrance Day, the Canadian Rangers had gathered at the community center for a meet and greet, and also to display medals and other certificates for viewing.
Okay, my name, as you would all know, is Sergeant Clayton Ingram, commander of the Burgeo Ranger Patrol. Today is Remembrance Day. We've had our service, and after the service, whatever, we kind of gather here at the community center. We are using the community center here the same as the Legion in other places. It's more or less to display medals of the veterans in the area and memorabilia of items that those persons could have. And it's mostly just to socialize with the group and local citizens who would like to come by and just talk about old times or whatever the case. Hopefully this will work out, and in the future we can continue on with this program. Today we have Sergeant Sean Bateman from Gander. He's our RI for this year for the Canadian Rangers. And Sergeant Bateman, if you would like to have a word or two, the floor is yours.
It'd be a good opportunity if anybody wanted to know what the Rangers were all about. Come on out, mingle, talk to us, and never know, we could sign you up. You could become a Ranger.
Thank you. What we have here today is some memorabilia of Don's activities, I guess, some of the stuff that he did while he was in this one here is when he jumped with the Italians there. This is a certificate of showing that he had jumped with those guys in 1993. What we have here is a picture of Kandahar. This is the camp in Kandahar. We were there, Linda and myself was there a couple of years ago, whatever. And this is these medals. The medals there shows where he was in Afghanistan there once, and this is another one from Afghanistan where he shows where he fought in battle, whatever. And this is another peacekeeping tour he did in Yugoslavia, and there's another pennant he did with 2 tours in Yugoslavia, and there's another tour here in Bosnia, and this is just a service medal there. Some of the other ones, Operation Enduring Freedom, is one from the Americans that in the Canadian Light Infantry. This is from Afghanistan, where he was involved in the Americans as well. Farther over, you see when we were in Afghanistan, they presented us with a, I guess you'll call it a map of the area where Vaughn had all the activity and gave his life there at one spot there where the maple leaf is at. And some of the I guess some of the other certificates that he got when he was had it there, parachute, and when he joined, that sort of thing. Another part of back, you got the Afghan flag that we were presented with, and we got the plaque here where the Afghan government presented us with this plaque right there. But overall, it's a bit of memorabilia that we gradually accumulate over a period of time with guys in the forces.
Mayor Gerald McDonald came by the studio with his town council report.
Good evening. Your town council report The council meeting was held on October 26th. First on the agenda was the water treatment plant, and we are 4 weeks into the 90-day trial run now. Everything at the plant is working well, and hopefully they can go for 90 days without any problems. More water samples has been taken and sent to Halifax for testing, and seems like there's still a problem for water being chlorinated after it leaves the tank. From the treatment plant to the tank, the chlorine levels are quite sufficient, but after it leaves the tank, I think there's certainly a problem there, and this has got to be dealt with. So it looks like we may have to put a little substation outside of the tank area. And after the 90-day period is trouble-free, then they will start the commissioning shortly after that. And our flow rate at the present time is going around 200, 250 gallons per minute, so it's not bad. On the waste management, on October 25th, Council met with the new chairperson for the Western Waste Management Board, Mr. Don Donner and Jason King. And Council outlined their plans on what they think should be done in Burgeo with the waste management. We explained to them that we would like to see the prison dump site cleaned up, including the dismantling of the incinerator. The site be covered over with crushed stone. A new transfer station be built on that site. And this, of course, will be at the expense of government. And garbage around town would be collected by small truck and taken to the transfer site. And garbage from the transfer site to the west coast would be transported by a large compactor truck. And this, of course, would certainly depend on the price that it's going to cost. And we were also looking for a representative on the Waste Management Board. So that's Council's position on the waste management. At our last meeting on October 26th, our RCMP Constable Mr. Darren Cooper attended the meeting, and topics of discussion were policing in the community and on Route 480. Council is still looking for funding to conduct a survey in the Burgeo, Ramure, Grey River, Francois area to see what need is there for a senior citizens home here in Burgeo. Now, we know the need is there, but it's one of those things that got to be done when you're dealing with governments, and hopefully we can achieve funding to get this done. Building Committee. Building Committee approval was given for a shed 10 by 10, and approval was also given for a shed 12 by 16. Correspondence, there were 15 items of correspondence dealt with at our October 26th meeting. And I just want to say that November 11th, Friday, is Remembrance Day, and we all should get out and respect our fallen soldiers and those who fought in the battles. And I just came from the school here, the Burgeo Academy had their remembrance service today, and I thought it was fantastic. The kids are really educated into what Remembrance Day is all about, and they get more into detail each time there's an assembly each year. And I was certainly pleased to see how far they've gone since I've attended there 3 years ago, and I want to thank the teachers and staff at the school for doing that, and certainly something that we should never forget is our fallen soldiers and those who fought the battles to keep us free and have peaceful communities. And no doubt you're aware the Portraits of Honor arrived in Burgeo, and on October the 18th and 19th, and this amazing talent of Mr. Dave Soapy, I was amazed to see that you get and look at the faces of those fallen soldiers, and so young, and they done it all for us, again, for Canada, and keep our country free. And I would like to thank Mr. Gordon Hingram, Councillor Gordon Hingram and his committee for organising that event on October the 18th. And of course, we also want to thank the people for coming out and those who supported by attending the event or donations to the families of the fallen soldiers. Certainly was appreciated by all. And on the morning of October 19th, the playground was dedicated in the memory of Sergeant Von Ingram, which it was last year in December when council decided to make this move, and I remember making the phone call to the Ingram family. And I'm glad to see that this has been done, and it's certainly a nice piece of work there with that sign, and I certainly, you know, I appreciate what the crowd that came out that morning also for the dedication of the playground to Sergeant Von Ingram. Thank you very much. Department of Transportation is back in full service, and they're all geared up for the winter on the Burgeo Road. This year, my understanding is they'll still be using salt and sand, but on certain areas of the road they'll be using brine, and they feel that this brine is certainly works a lot better than salt and sand in certain areas. And council also has its equipment ready to go in case of a snowstorm in the community, and hopefully it'll be a while yet, but we're ready to go, and winter conditions is coming, so just want to remind everybody to drive safely, and winter conditions means you got to drive slower when you got black ice and slush and snow, so just take your time and arrive at your destination safely. Invoices were approved for payment in the amount of $14,157.72 at our October 26th meeting. And the next council meeting is scheduled for November the 16th. And a little did you know, in 1989 to 1993, Gerald McDonald was mayor, Blaine Marks was deputy mayor, Lloyd Hillier was councillor, Alexander Barter councillor, Samuel Collier councillor, Emmanuel Young councillor, Frank Lushman councillor. And the town manager at the time was Mr. Doug Cannell, and the town clerk was Mr. Stanley Cosser. And that was a year there was no changes in council. We went a full 4 years without losing a councillor. Until the next time, thank you for watching. Good night, and may God bless.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.